a young lady named Patty Hearst began to bond with her aggressors. She began to take hold of her aggressors. Patty Hearst began to identify with her aggressors. See, check this. When she began to believe the same values as her aggressors, they stopped being a threat in her eyes. Being around them so long, the SLA stopped being a danger in Patty Hearst's eyes. Look, y'all, Patty Hearst went from a victim to a villain. Patty Hearst went from a prey to a predator. See, Patty Hearst had right thoughts, but the longer she hung out with the SLA, all those right thoughts went wrong. I want to talk to saved folk for a little bit on tonight and to let you know that if we don't be careful, we can find ourselves rowing the same boat Patty Hearst did. And I ain't talking about with the SLA. I ain't talking about doing 35 years to life. I'm not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is having our right thoughts go wrong because we cuddle up with the wrong people with the wrong thoughts. But what I'm trying to tell you is that some of the people you rub elbows with and you call your ace can throw a monkey wrench in your program. I'm talking about the program God got you on. They can throw us off course. And if we don't be careful, they can cause us to question what we do for God, why we do for God, and even have us questioning our faith in Christ. If we don't be careful, they can have us questioning God. They can have us questioning what we do for God. They can have us questioning why I got to go do this. Why should I do that? Being around no folk can cause you problems. And listen to me. Look, and catch this, y'all. I ain't saying be bougie. I'm just saying be choosy. Being around wrong folk with the wrong thoughts, listen to me, can make or break. They can make or break you spiritually, and look, have you roaming around in the pasture in the daylight with a flashlight. But what I am saying is that if the folks we found ourselves hanging with all day in day, bringing you down in Christ instead of bringing you up in Christ, you might want to check it. If the folks we hanging with all day in day are causing you to turn your back on Christ, instead of causing you to turn your back toward Christ, you might want to fix that. Because in the long run, they're going to cause you problems. In the long run, they're going to either make you or they're going to break you. Then he tells the Corinthians, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Paul said, don't be hoodwinked. Paul said, don't be led astray. Don't be run amok. Don't let fools fool you. Don't let nobody tell you it won't when it will. Bad company corrupts good character. Here Paul was speaking about those who denied the resurrection. Those who denied the resurrection. Those who said that the resurrection wasn't actual and factual. Paul was letting them know, look, if they mix with people who deny the resurrection, they will soon have the wrong ideas about God, and then having the wrong ideas about God will lead them to wrong behavior. It possibly can. The wrong folk can get in your ear with all kinds of unbiblical propaganda and have us believing they propaganda. Continue prolonged elbowing with the wrong person or persons can make or break. We cannot and should not make unbelievers our constant road dogs. We can't do it. We can't make unbelievers our everyday kicking partners. We can't do it. And it goes back to what I said earlier. Listen to me. That don't mean we better than nobody else. That don't mean that we got to end with Christ just because we say we follow Christ. That don't make us better than nobody else. But I'm going to tell you right now, we got a lot more to lose. continue prolonged elbowing with the wrong person or persons who deny that there is no Christ, that deny that there is no God, that deny that Christ never rose from the dead, that Christ never lived, can make or break you. And listen to me, y'all. We can't do it and think our thinking just like Patty Hearst. What happened to Patty Hearst? Patty Hearst thinking starts thinking. She was with the SLA so long that everything that the SLA did, everything that the SLA said, became okay to her. We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, hang around with those wrong people, with their wrong propaganda, and think that our thinking won't start thinking. Many of us have family members that's unbelievers. A lot of us have family members that are unbelievers. Those family members can make or break. Those friends who we call our friends can make or break. But if we say Christ is in our life, we can love them, be there for them if they need us, but we can't be with them like we used to be with them. Because if you find yourself, if we find ourselves hanging with them too long, it can make or break us. We can't make unbelievers our always go-to when stuff gets rough. You can't go to an unbeliever when stuff gets rough in your life. Why? Because an unbeliever going to tell you to quit. An unbeliever going to tell you to throw in the towel. An unbeliever going to tell you, don't worry about it, you don't need that. An unbeliever, listen to me, if you have marital problems, an unbeliever going to tell you, divorce. Divorce them. I got somebody I can hook you up with. What you want. You can't go to unbelievers when stuff get rough in your life. We can't go to unbelievers for advice when the devil beating on you like a drum. Unbelievers can't be the ones we go to when there's doubt in our minds about the path that God has us on. You can't go to unbelievers and have an unbeliever encourage you. You can't go to an unbeliever and have an unbeliever edify you, to strengthen you and tell you it's going to be all right. You stay on where God has you going. Because if the devil is on you, that means you're doing something right. Unbeliever ain't going to tell you that. Unbeliever going to tell you throw in the towel. An unbeliever, look, an unbeliever will ask you, what God? If there was a God, why stuff happened the way they happened in this world? An unbeliever gonna ask you, what Jesus? An unbeliever gonna ask you, what cross? That's what an unbeliever gonna ask you. And if you find yourself continuing to be around that what God, what Jesus, what cross, you're gonna start asking yourself the same thing. Placing ourselves in situations where we're around unbelievers, breathing their unbelief that there is no Christ. It can make or it can break.